Okay, welcome back everybody. It's another episode of my Project Ozone series. Having got past that Mordrine debacle from the last episode, we can carry on progressing down there. So we are still trying to get hold of... I don't know what we're actually trying to do. It was needed for something. Living wood. Oh, that was right. We were trying to make the Manor Spreader. And it was gated behind this stupid arcane prism. Which we just need to make one of, and then we can put it into Project E, and it won't be a pain in the bum anymore. We'll start by looking at this arcane violet. So we got a Mordrine ingot. I'm assuming that all of those require, yeah. And then we just need to make up a bunch of these colored ingots. Start with the purple, which requires an arcane violet ingot, which requires a promethium ingot. I wonder if they're all going to be gated behind promethium as well. Yep, so we're going to need a bunch of promethium. Let's just make sure we got that. We need at least 8 pieces of that. Promethium. We got promethium in the system. Let's make sure that that is also in that system, which it now is. Okay, so we've got promethium. That's not a problem. We now need Aurus crystals, a violet one, which requires... Good grief. Okay, that's not a problem. So we need a regular white aura crystal. I assume that the others are gated behind that as well. Yep, so we need a bunch of those, which have got EMC. So once we make one, which is gold nugget and a gold bar, or an iron bar, grab out a gold nugget and grab ourselves some iron. Let's make up some more nuggets. I think we got those in the system. No, we don't. We do now, though. No, not nuggets. Nuggets. Nug. Let's take 64 of those. Clear that out. And then we'll clear that. Let's say clear that. Do that. Put that in there. And that'll give us 2 arcane white crystals, which we can now put into our Project E. Because we're going to need a bunch of those. Let's grab out 2 stacks. Stick that back in there. And then we need to do the dye. So we are going to need... What colored dyes we can need? Purple, red, and blue. Well, blue should be that. Which gives us 8 of those. When we put some of these into the system. I think that's all we need. Then we need red, what was it? Red and... get some of the red rose dye. That gives us 8 of those. And we needed the purple. Which we got one of those. That gives us that one. What other colors do we need? Let's take a look. Green and black. So look for green. Cactus green, we can make up some of those. Take one of those. That gives us the green. And then we need the ink sac to make up the black. Gives us that one. I must just put all those in there. Last 3 colors, orange, white, and yellow. Yellow is the dandelion. Orange, we're going to have to craft up. Let's craft up 100 of those. Just have them in the system. Orange. And white, I think, was the last one, wasn't it? Which is the bone meal. Oh, maybe not. I thought bone meal... Maybe it does. Maybe I've just got to put it into... Nope. How do I make up the... to have a look, won't we? White one. Needs arcane white ingot. Oh, it's just regular. Wait, what? Hang on. Arcane white ingots. Which are the... Oh, okay. I guess that one is just a regular with promethium. So I need 8 of those. And then... That's the only one that you use. Okay, and then we need the Mordrine. And where have we got that? Did I put any... I didn't put any of that in the system, did I? Oh, there it is. So now we've put all a Mordrine in there, then we surround all of these like that. And like that. Oh. Oh, that probably needs the promethium now, doesn't it? I think that white one was just a special case. Why is that not? Oh, because I need... Oh, that's got EMC, though. Okay, well, let's just make up one of those. One of each of these. And we'll have to duplicate those with Project Rex. I'm not going to go and make all 64 of these bars. God, what a convoluted recipe. Okay, so we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then if we go to Project E and teach it all of these recipes, like so. And I'll keep putting them in. It's teaching them. Okay, and then we can get out 8 of those that we need for each one. And they're ingots. Arcane. I should search on Arcane. There you go. And we'll just take out, stick all these in the system. And then just pull out a stack of 64 of each ones. Let's teach that to the system. In case we ever need to get that out again. Arcane white gem. I think we only need the one, don't we? Yeah, we only need the one. And now we can go in and put all these around the Mordrine. Do that, and then we'll get the black one, and we'll get the orange one, and the red one, the green one. God, what a pain in the bum. Blue one, and the purple one, the pinky one, and that final yellow one. And that should now be all of our crystals that we need to make up with the brass ingot. So we look for brass. Do we not have any brass? Seriously? It's just this recipe. How do I make up brass? Brass is zinc and copper. So I'll look for zinc. Piece of zinc. A piece of copper. And I think I'm going to have to go melt those in the Tinker's Construct smeltery. Actually, that this system is now balancing out. The chests are emptying by the looks. So I think it's finally starting to keep up. I mean, I did put 64 speed and 64 fortune. I mean, it's using up 74,000 RF per tick on each of these sieves. But that's going to generate materials pretty fast. What I ended up doing was putting a bunch of these cryo-stabilized flux ducts into a tesseract that's receiving energy from the main power grid. And that's keeping up with the demand. That brass should now be ready. Yes, it is. 2 ingots of that. Just need 1 so I can put it into the system. Come on, cool down. Thank you. And we might as well get the other one out. Like so. Now let's put brass into our system so we don't have to smelt that down ever again. And that'll be now enough for us to get out of there. We can now put down the brass. Oh god, I'm not going to be able to remember that recipe. Not the order of the crystals anyway. That's... actually, before we do that, I want to put each of these into the system. These are arcane orange gems. Okay, so we're looking for gems. Let's stick that in there as well. Stick those in. And now if we search on gem and get those back out, just get a stack of each. It's just easier just to click on those quickly. And then I should now be able to make up that arcane prism. Which it's not going to let me do. So I'll have to manually put them in. So it's blue, red, purple. Oh, I didn't have any blue, did I? Gem. Are they? I should have all. Yeah, okay, there you go. Now it should let me make it. There you go. And now we've got an arcane prism, and I can stick that in the system. In fact, let's just stick all that stuff back in, because we don't need all those individual components. And we'll look for prism. And we'll just grab out a stack of 64. Now that's going to allow us to go back and finally make up the Manor Spreaders. That was... so irritating. And it was more irritating because they changed the recipe from what it was in the Lexica Botanica. So it didn't tell you how to go about and make the rest of the stuff. So where am I? I was over here. We need to do that. In fact, actually, what we need to do is we need to do that. And put the petal in, and then we put in our Manor Prisms, and now we get 4 Manor Spreaders. Holy moly. Botanica. Open up that. And that gives us that complete. So now we need to make up Nightshade and Daybloom. So if we go back to the index and look on the flowers for Manor generation, or even actually maybe on the basics. Does it have it on here? No, it doesn't. Generating flora. We need a Daybloom, which is yellow petals, yellow, light blue, and orange. So we need to now grab some orange. I wonder if they have EMC. No, they do not. Ah, so irritating. That'll make up our orange. I'm trying to, what colors did it say? Orange, light blue, and yellow. Oh, yellow are these ones here. Let's grab a bunch of those. And light blue, I think, are these ones here. That gives us cyan. That's light blue. Okay, so we got light blue. We got some orange. Then we need to make some yellow. And then we go back to the... And we're going to need our seeds. And we're going to need a bucket of water. How many Dayblooms do we need to make up? So we need 2 of those. Where's that quest book? Come here, quest book. 4. 4, which means we need 8. We need some 2 more yellows. Some yellow there. And do I have any more yellow? I saw a bunch of yellow over here. What Where did they go? That's the orange. That's where I saw some yellow, a yellow patch over here. There they are. That's where I saw them. I'll grab a bunch of these. Like so. Yoink. Yoink. Yoinkity yoink yoinks. As I grab them all, because we're probably going to need them at some point. And convert those to yellow flowers or yellow petals. If I see any more light blue, which I think there's some over here, I'll grab those on the way back. Either or they're the cyan, I'm not sure. Is that light blue? Yep, that's light blue. That's enough to get our 4 flowers. And we'll head black and do those. Nearly there. And okay, so we'll put in a bucket of water into our... Oh, no. Keep doing that. Bucket of water. We need a orange, a blue, 2 yellows, and a seed. Just move those around. Okay, so we've got a day bloom. We need 4 of those. So we'll do, click in, 1 of those, no, 2 of those, 1 of those, 1 of those, 1 of those. More water, please. 2 of those, 1 of those, 1 of those, and 1 of those. And 1 more time, and that'll give us our 4 day blooms. And they probably, I don't know, some of the packs, depends on the configurations. Day blooms will either decay over time, or they'll stay permanent. I'm kind of hoping they'll stay permanent, but I don't know why they would. They're making everything else pretty difficult for us. Okay, so that's our day blooms made up. And now we need some nightshade. They work at night. And if we go to the recipe for that, go back. We're looking for nightshade. Nightshade, there it is. And that needs 2 black, a grey, and a purple. So we're done with those colours for now. 2 black, a grey, and some purple. 2 greys, a black, and a purple. Well, these are probably going to be black. Yep, that gives us our black. Some grey. There's grey. I wonder if it's the right colour grey. There's like light grey and there's regular grey. Stick those on there. I think it's just regular grey. Yeah, it's grey. Grey, black, and purple. Have we got any purple around here? Yep. The question is, do we have enough purple to make up? Oh, that's magenta. That's not going to do us any good. Mystical, no, it definitely needs to be a mystical purple. Maybe that's the purple. Looks purple to me. Yes, it is. Okay, we're going to need up 4 of those, and 8 of the black, which we have enough of. So now we repeat the process, and this time we do it for 1 of those, 1 of those, 2 of those, and a seed. And we'll grab that and do the same again. 2. Like so. Put those in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a seed. And the last one. No, he did it again. Pushing myself away. One of... No! Oh! Now. I've flubbed. Trying to remember how you reset this. Let me have a look in the Let's Go Botanica. Let's see if it tells me, because I've put the wrong petal in. I'm wondering if it'll tell me how to get the stuff out. Tossing the final bucket. Quite a few plants. Da-da-da. Shift right clicking. Okay, shift right clicking with an empty hand will remove. Okay, so we got that cyan petal back out, which means we haven't messed up our recipe. We'll put in 1 of those, and 2 of those, and a seed. And there you go. Now we have our night blooms somewhere. There they are. Nightshades. And that'll complete that quest. And we'll pick up the middle. Although I don't know if we've got any space in our inventory. Yes, we do. Let's pick up the middle bag again. And that also gave us some ender flame, which is kind of nice. And let's see what's in our reward bag. A bunch of rubbish. Now, has any of this stuff got... Those we're finished with. See, all these petals, they don't have EMC, which is a bit of a pain in the bum. Which is a shame. Let's get rid of that. Put our buckets back in as well. Let's get rid of those. Don't need those. Floral fertilizer, that's nice. That's got EMC. So does that rubbish. And that doesn't. Okay, so let's have a look what's next on the... no, not that. Next on our list. That moves us down now into Manor Pools of Manor. So what happens is you put down... Well, let's... One step at a time. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's look at... See what the Manor Pools... See if they've changed those. Nope, that's just living rock. They've kept that recipe the same, which is good. So what we're going to do is we're going to make up probably 4 Manor Pools. 1, 2, 3, 4. Does that finish that quest off? Yes, it does. We only needed 1. Let's take the middle bag again and see what was in that bag. And we got, oh my god, really a redstone engine and a filler. At least it's got EMC on it. Let's put those away. That is a shimmer rock. Don't know what that is. Never seen a shimmer rock before. I think that's creative. Yeah, we can't get that. Fabulous Manor Pool. Diluted is the living rock slab. Which we don't want. That's a lesser one. It's got lesser EMC value. Fabulous Manor Pool. Not sure what shimmer rock is. Shimmer rock slab. How do you make shimmer rock? I don't know. Shimmer rock. Is it going to tell you? Oh, living rock with a Bifrost block. How do you get a Bifrost block? Rod of Bifrost. Oh, I think you have to get that. Rod of Bifrost with alpha. Oh, yeah, we need the... Oh, yeah, we're a little ways off of getting that. We need the portal up first. Okay, so these pools will do us for now. What we're going to need to do is grab our day blooms, night blooms, and other thing. And, well, we now can get rid of all this because we don't need this anymore. Where did I put my pickaxe? There it is. So, just vein mine these down. And we don't need these flowers anymore. Because we can now, anything that those make, we can now get through through the Project E. So I'm not worried about that in terms of living wood. So what we need to do is we need to find an area where we can set up these. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a Manor Pool there. Actually, no. Yeah. No. Yes. Yes. What you need to do is you set up. It's going to need a space around it. Let's do. I'm going to need to make up a wand, aren't I? So I'm going to need to refocus that direction. You need a. I think you just do it with living wood. Let's check the Lexica Botanica. Being very eloquent here. One of the first things in order to, what you do is you put these day blooms and nightshades around this Manor Spreader. And it collects the mana from it and it sends it out as a beam of mana energy. And then you direct that towards a pool and it collects the mana inside the pool, which you can then use for a variety of stuff. But it comes out of this direction. it'll start firing a line down this way. To get that to go over there, you have to aim it at this pool. And to do that, you need one of these wands, a wand of the forest. Which is living wood twig. Which I can't remember how to make. So let's see if I can find out about garden of glass. No, don't want that. Tell me how to make up generating flora, functional flora, apparatus. Is it going to tell me how to make the... Okay, fine. Let's find out how we make out the... No, oh, I'm all over the place. Twig is what I want. Twig. I'll double click that. It's just 2 living wood. Okay, so that's what I thought. So you do that and that. No, you don't, because those are the Manor Spreaders. You do that and that. We need 4 of those. I think, or 4 or 3. Then we just got to take it and put it into a crafting table. And we do that, that, and that. And then put 2 petals, or whatever color you like. I'm just going to put yellow. And that gives us a wand of the forest. And now we can take that wand. You see how, when you hold that, it's showing you where it's sending its energy to. So you click that. You shift click that. And shift click that. And now it's aimed itself at this pool. So when I put these day blooms down, it should start generating mana, I think. Is that how it works? It's just a bit rusty on Botanica. Mystical flowers. Don't want the runic altar. What I do want is Manor Spreaders. It should. I think. Oh, there it goes. It is. It's putting mana in. And you put these around the outside. These work. The day blooms work during the day, and the night ones work during the night. Although it's always eternal day here, so I don't think these night ones are going to do us any good. To be honest. Now, are they going to decay? Is the next question. I think we'll have to just wait and see over time. To find out what they do. And you can get various different plants which will feed into these mana things, and that'll generate mana for us. Quest book. We've done that. Hydrangeas and runic altar. And I think we'll look at that in the next episode. And that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you all for watching. If you could hit that like and subscribe button, I would very much appreciate it. And until next time, toodles!